All right, let's run this like a real decision meeting. 1970 model year, 3 heavy hitters, 1 crown. LS6 versus Street Hemi versus 429 Super Cobra Jet. And I'm not talking poster wall nostalgia. I'm talking what actually wins when you look at the full performance and ownership scorecard. If you had to put your own money down in 1970 and pick the true king, the one car that delivers the best total package of power, real-world results, and street credibility, who gets the keys? The Chevelle SS454 LS6, the Hemi Mopar, or the Ford 429 SCJ drag pack monster? Everybody's got opinions, but today we're settling it with a clean framework and a hard verdict. Here's how we're judging this like professionals, not fanboys. First, factory muscle, what you got out the gate. Second, real-world performance, what these cars actually did when magazines and owners ran them. Third, traction and drivability, because horsepower doesn't mean much if you can't deploy it. Fourth, accessibility, how realistic it was to get one in 1970. And fifth, legacy, because king means influence, not just numbers. Bottom line, we're building a scorecard, and somebody's taking the trophy. First up is the 1970 Chevelle SS454 LS6, the street CEO. This is the corporate overachiever of the group, the one with the strongest headline right out of the box. Big displacement, big torque, aggressive attitude, and the kind of engine combo that made the car feel like it wanted to tear the pavement in half. The detail most people miss is that it wasn't just powerful, it was usable. The Chevelle platform gave a strong balance of weight, wheelbase, and street manners. In 1970, you're on bias-ply tires and traction is always the bottleneck. But the LS6 delivered torque without forcing you to live at crazy RPM. That matters because stoplight to stoplight isn't always a perfect drag launch. Sometimes it's a roll, sometimes the pavement is trash, and sometimes you're not trying to grenade your drivetrain. The LS6 Chevelle brought muscle with less drama and more consistency. Next is the 426 Street Hemi, the icon and intimidation factor. Let's call it what it is. This is a brand equity king. Even people who don't know muscle cars know the word Hemi. When a Hemi car pulled up, Cuda, Challenger, Roadrunner, Super B, everybody paid attention. Factory ratings didn't always capture what these engines really were, and period testing varied. But the constant was the Hemi delivered a brutal charge and a reputation that could win races before the light even turned green. But here's the truth that separates adults from comment section arguments. The Hemi isn't automatically the best total ownership choice in 1970. It's more demanding, more expensive up front, harder to find, and more specialized to live with. When it's right, it's lethal. When it's not dialed, it can feel like managing a wild horse. And traction still rules. Power without control is just noise. Intimidation absolutely counts in the king conversation, but we're judging the full scoreboard, not just aura. Now let's talk about the one people sleep on because it doesn't get the same casual hype. The Ford 429 Super Cobra Jet, especially with drag pack gear, the Strip Assassin. This was Ford's no small talk option, built for people who were serious about winning at the strip. The SCJ setup wasn't just about an engine, it was a system. Gearing, cooling, durability upgrades, and a configuration designed to take punishment. In that era, you weren't just racing horsepower, you were racing who could stay together and repeat passes. The strategic advantage of the 429 SCJ is it often delivered results better than the brochure suggested. Ford big block combos were frequently conservative on paper, but vicious when lined up, and with steep gears and the right supporting hardware, the 429 SCJ could launch hard and put up nasty numbers in real conditions. If your goal is to win Friday night, this is the pick that makes you look like a genius after the first 2 runs. But tell it like it is. It's more niche. You're not just picking a car, you're picking a mission. It's a weapon, and not everybody wants to daily drive a weapon. Here's the reality check before we crown anybody. In 1970, traction is the real gatekeeper, not horsepower. All 3 can overpower the tires. So the true king isn't who has the most potential. It's who can deploy the most of what they have most often. That's why old school guys say the fastest car isn't always the one with the biggest motor. It's the one that hooks. So when we decide this, we're deciding who brings the best blend of output and execution. On the scorecard, factory headline power and torque goes to the LS6 as the most straightforward walk-in and buy violence package. Real-world performance and repeatability is close. Any of these can shine, but the LS6 and 429 SCJ often show up strong with less fuss, while the Hemi is more sensitive to setup and the driver's ability to manage wheel spin. For street drivability and usability, the LS6 earns executive points. Torque comes in heavy. The platform is friendly, and it's fun more often than it's frustrating. Accessibility in 1970 also leans LS6 because big block Chevelles were a more common ecosystem, while Hemi and SCJ drag pack setups were more rare and specialized. Legacy is where the Hemi dominates culturally, but LS6 holds serious benchmark status, and the SCJ carries that real racers no respect. So here's the verdict, plain and simple. The true king of 1970 overall is the LS6 Chevelle SS454. Not because the Hemi isn't legendary, and not because the 429 SCJ isn't dangerous. The LS6 wins because it offers the best total value proposition. Big power, big torque, strong real-world results, and the most consistent. I can actually use this experience without needing a perfect setup or a specialist mindset. If your definition of king is strictly drag strip domination with the right gears and a driver who means business, the 429 SCJ is absolutely in the conversation. If your definition is icon status and fear factor, the Hemi can wear that crown all day. But as a complete package, LS6. Now I want you to weigh in like the board directors. Which one are you taking and why? LS6, Hemi, or 429 SCJ? And don't just vote. Tell me your metric. Street, strip, collectability, or legacy? Drop it in the comments. Because I already know this is going to start a war in the best way. If you rock with muscle car history and real talk, hit the like, subscribe, or follow. And ride with us here at CarSwagger. We keep it classic, we keep it honest, and we keep the horsepower culture alive. Thanks for watching. Peace.